Good evening. I'd like to call the 19th September Planning Board meeting to order. We have two appointments tonight. Both of them are relocations of structures in the Shoreland Zone. The first one is for map 33, lot 24, 11 Esther Lane, Robert Leeman, and on behalf of Penny Curtis.
Good evening. Basically, we're doing exactly what you just talked about. We'd like to relocate a structure on Esther Lane, and basically the goal is to move it as far as we can from the water, create a better house, better year-round house. Right now, there's a camp that's been converted into a year-round house. So the goal is to take that down. The current camp is 24 feet 7 from the water, and the new building that we're proposing is 80 feet from the water for the new house we're proposing. We would have gone back further, but there are telephone poles directly behind where the new house is proposed, so we can't move any further back. We're been told by CMP that's as close as we can get to the power lines. And that's within 2 feet of them.
Okay. We also have some issues with this. We received a letter from Prescott, Jameson, Nelson, and Murphy, attorneys and counsels at law, from the Maxfields. They're abutters to it. Did you receive a copy of that?
I did see that.
Okay. Basically, they're contesting the property line on this. Property lines are not a decision of the town. It's something that needs to be resolved between the two parties on that.
What I would like to state is there was a Class A survey done on Penny Curtis's land.
Okay.
And I believe that's in the package. Is that in the package?
The survey in the package?
I'm not sure if it is or not, but I have some copies here if you would like to look at them. I have 3 copies, 4 copies. I can bring up if you want to look at them. Sorry, I don't have enough for everybody, but
We can share. Thank you.
and basically the biggest thing I wanted to point out with the survey is if the occupying line is what's in question on that, the location of the new structure would actually be further from the occupied line. If you measured from, well, actually, we're going to give you this handout also.
That's existing.
I do have enough of these.
Which one's the abutters that were
Okay, we got those.
Yeah.
Do you have these?
Yes.
No, this is different because this actually shows the occupied line,
Okay.
and that one doesn't. That shows the property line. And what I wanted to point out on that one is that where the structure is currently, if you look on the first page, where from the occupied line it's 9 feet 10.
Okay.
And if you look at the second page of that, the proposed structure would be 19 feet 10 from the occupied line. So it's actually 10 feet further away from the occupied line. So if that was to be found to be the property line, we would actually be moving further away.
Okay.
So it shouldn't.
On this survey, there's no stamp on here or anything, or any date of when it was done? Oh, August 17, 2007.
Yeah, there was a stamp on the original. This here was a stamp with this signature.
And what kind of survey?
This is a Class A survey.
Class A survey?
Correct.
It says there's a note 4, there's a difference between the line of occupation and the plan line, and the attorney should be contacted to find out what rights may have been established in the area between the lines. A boundary line agreement may be used to determine the boundary line between these lots.
So the boundary line is the boundary line. The occupy line is where they're currently over the line and they're assuming that piece of property to be theirs. What I'm saying tonight is, as far as building the new structure, regardless of that line, we're actually moving, if the occupied line is found to be the property line, we're actually moving the house 10 feet away from that line, further away from the line. So if you were to look at that from either of those lines, I think the placement of the new house is in a good location.
We have we've also received counsel from our attorneys on this. Did everybody see that?
Yeah. I think maybe the way to proceed would be have a site visit to see for ourselves what's going on out there.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
Good thing.
I mean, we always do these, we do site, we do a site visit, schedule that, and then we have a public hearing.
Okay.
And then we could make a meeting after that to look at it, so. Can you represent them as for dates that it's available to our site?
I can.
Okay.
I would say on the survey section he has, we ought to get a seal on one,
Yeah.
and make sure that it's.
The town has that in the town file, in the actual town file on this piece of property.
The one that I have? Here? Oh. I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
It's also, that's also registered with York County Record of Deeds.
Tina, you've seen it?
I have not.
Okay, and I'm just looking quick.
We can provide them with a seal on.
Yeah, that,
We can have that for the site visit.
rather than looking at it right now.
Deed, if it was,
The Waterboro CEO has been out there and he's reviewed it. He says the structure seems to be moved back as far as practical. Septic is current and up to date on it. So, the Maxfield's here?
Yes, yes.
All right. Do you mind, normally we don't allow, it's not a public hearing, but where you have registered something, I would like to hear your concerns on this.
Well, as we said, is that we just wanted to get the boundary lines finished. We have retained a surveyor, and hopefully, he said, within 3 weeks. And we understand that, totally understand wanting to move something back and build something new. Totally get that. We want to do that eventually as well. But the concern is that if we don't know what the boundaries are, then how can you build something if you don't have the determined boundary line? The other thing is in my warranty deed, there is talk about a right-of-way. And I don't know exactly where it is. I couldn't tell by the proposed plan where that right-of-way is, so I'm not real sure. I have a hard time looking. I tried taking a picture. It didn't really look right. I'm just concerned with the proposed plan, and it didn't look to be, like I said, I had the survey look at it. He said it didn't look like it may be accurate, so I don't know. So that's that was my concern, was the accuracy of what the proposed plan was.
a right away to the lake?
No, right away from the West Shore Road. Is that what it is? Yeah. It said,
Although we have, on the surveyors one, there's one that parallels the property line, you mean? Runs right across the top of the property line?
I think so, yes, and it just, according to what, I know what's up there, it just didn't, it looked out of its distortion. It didn't look, and again, and I'm no good at reading maps, I'm better at actually looking at things and walking it, and stuff like that. It just did not look right, and like I said, I'm not a professional by any means when it comes to drawing maps, but but I did, like I said, I did give the surveyor we've got, he has that the proposed plan, the actual plan, and the other survey paper that we had as well. And again, he said he hopes within 3 weeks to do it, to get it done.
Who did you hire?
Down Coulomb.
Down Cologne.
Excuse me, can you repeat that name?
Down Coulomb. They're out of Saco. They've done a lot of work up in there.
Okay. We do have a copy of the attorney's letter.
Okay.
Tom?
To help the applicants, the butters, and the planning board, prior to your site inspection, you probably want the surveyor, and this will be helpful for everyone, to stake the corners of the lots, okay, to stake the right-of-way, and to stake the footprint of the building. Once you've established those coordinates between the right-of-way, the proposed building footprint, and the boundary of the subject site, it's going to make everybody's job so much easier. And it's something that,
There's a little difficulty with that.
well, I mean, that's what the board needs to know.
Right.
In order to make a decision.
I just want to tell you what the difficulty is. The difficulty, according to our survey, the property line is in the boathouse. That's on the waterfront, so there's not going to be a pin there.
Well, like I said, but according to the deed, it says the pins that are there. I don't
The
know.
occupied-
Oh, you're talking the occupied line or the plot line is what you're saying?
The occupied line shown pin is there.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
Right.
it's-
And
That
where the
pin there,
property-
yeah.
Where the property line turns at that angle, the next pin is not there because there's a boathouse there.
okay.
So there's no way to show that. The right-of-way, where the right-of-way is on the back side of the property lines, on
Right.
all of those property lines. And you can see that back to the original plan where it shows the whole Johnson breakdown that was with the lawyer letter. It shows that is the old West Shore Road that went along behind all those properties.
Okay.
So those property pins are the marker of the right-of-way.
I think if you can clearly define those and flag them,
Yeah.
it makes the job of the board so much easier. Because you want to make sure, and also your code enforcement officer needs to know there's no encroachment on any parts of
Right.
right-of-ways. So I would suggest that you flag the right-of-way area, you flag the corners that you can flag that aren't in the boathouse, and also the footprint of the building. And that's,
Those
just
are
make,
all currently marked.
and that'll make a nice site inspection for the board.
Yeah, because the only one that he doesn't show is that one that's,
The occupation line is what, and that's the big
Right.
issue.
okay.
And
there
all
is-
the other pins are there, so, and the markers for the new house location.
Okay.
And also, we can get an affidavit that we went back, the history of who owned what, and before Penny Curtis, that was John and Penny Provost, and before that was Bob Harrell, and before Bob Harrell bought it from Toll and Bob Harrell, and my grandfather who owned it at the time, they actually walked the line. And it was just, I don't know what would happen or whatever, but he's willing to write an affidavit that that's what's allowed.
The line dispute isn't, that's
Oh,
between
okay.
you guys,
Yep,
not between
okay.
us, the town.
All
So we've heard yours part of the
Yep.
side, and what Tom suggested with the marking out, it sounds like that's not an issue on it.
Everything's already marked.
Okay. Does the board have any discussion?
And
I am also in the bottom, and I'd like to say something with regard to that marker issue.
It's not a public hearing, so there will be a time for that coming up. Is it quick on it?
I'll be real quick.
Okay.
My name is Owen Bornstein, I live at 9 Esther.
Okay.
And right now, we are in the middle of a boundary dispute, okay? I bought that place in 2008, but didn't occupy it till 2009 as a vacation home. Since I've been there, there has never been a marker, okay, in the northwest corner of my property, all right? And from time to time, the markers kept changing, but it never had one that had a surveyor's seal and/or a number, okay? And it just would, 1 year it had none at all, Okay, and now all of a sudden on we get back from a vacation out west, and on August 4th, and there was a brand new marker in there that was painted bright orange, all right, with a trail of about 10 feet of tape going up to a tree, okay, probably 6 feet, took it up about 6 more feet of my property. So if someone's going to use what is the existing markers, you know, I think it's, there's some real consequences, all right, to allowing this to go forward without getting some valid evidence that, you know, that survey of 2007 is correct. Because what they are claiming, all right, is that the survey is correct because, with all due respect, he took a 200, and he told me this, and I walked it with him. He took a 250-foot tape measure, walked down the hill with it, okay, from the monument marker that's on the Johnson property, walked downhill with it and said, see, it's 200 feet, this is where it belongs. I said, well, you can't just do that in one dimension. He says, yeah, he says, but it supports these are my words, not his words. He says, but it supports the survey. Well, it doesn't support the survey, not if you know. So that survey, in my view, is questionable at best, okay? To make matters worse, sometime in late June, or early July, when I was not aware that we had any kind of issue at all with regard to boundary, other than the fact that I knew I had no boundary marker and it was no big deal to me. Okay, I wasn't ready to sell the place, but now it is a big deal. All right. So all of a sudden the sheriff shows up at my house and he's there to arbitrate the boundary dispute. And I said, I didn't know we had a boundary dispute. All right, so we walked over and I said to Penny, I said, my goodness, you know, if we've never had these kind of problems. If you had a dispute, why didn't you let me know and we could talk it out and work it out and you know, fix it. So as arbitrator, the deputy said, well, look, he says, why don't you do this? Okay, this is my advice. Why don't you hire a surveyor and survey just that line, okay, and you guys split the cost. I said, great. Okay, so he went and got a phone book, and I said, but I want someone that's unbiased. So he said, well, pick someone that no one knows. So he went and he got a phone book. He did one of these. He said, how about Lewis and Wassel or something like that? I said,
Wassel.
fine with me, and Penny said, fine with me. All right. So Penny said that she would do all of the work to bring this surveyor on board. Okay, and I told, you know, and with an understanding that before she moved forward, I was going to find out what the cost was, all right, and you know, and know the details of what was happening. And a week went by, 2 weeks went by. I asked Adam what's going on. He didn't know. That's up to Penny. Penny doesn't talk about it. So in the meantime, nothing happened. And then of course I come home and I find there's a new. This is all within a matter of 60, 90 days. So, you know, I think it puts us in serious jeopardy, okay, to go through with this approval until we have an opportunity to get this thing surveyed.
Okay, once again, property disputes are not a part of the town's decision on it. So what we're looking at is relocation of a structure in the Shoreland Zone. That's what the planning board's charged with doing on this, is relocating the structure. So, I mean, we do have a survey. If we have one that's got this, you know, the stamp on it, that's from a licensed surveyor that's marked the lines. You know, its liability is on that surveyor for, you know, as a licensed surveyor in the state. So we'll set up a site visit. I mean, as far as the board's concerned, is there, you know, site visit, do you guys have any comments on it? Is there something we want to?
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
A site visit when?
Our next meeting is the, can't even see it. Our next meeting will be the 3rd of October. Is that right, Tina? The 3rd of October will be our next meeting. So we're losing light.
Kurt, if I may, I think they're having a survey coming in within the next 3 weeks.
Like I said, that's what Down Cologne said, they were gonna try to get
I'll
in the
wait
next
till
3
that.
weeks. I would just like to
I've
have
had
You wanna wait till
I don't want
surveyor
to
comes
say not
first?
to have it, I just want a table
Yep.
until we get our survey done, until we get the other things done. I'm not saying I don't want the structure built. I want to say, I just need to hold off until we get everything done. That's all I'm asking the board is to, just to table, not to say no, not to say yes, just to table at this point.
That's what I'm asking.
That's all I'm asking.
I want to move this forward also. I don't want it to, I mean, I'm assuming you have a construction schedule and stuff and else. So, I mean, our meeting after that is the 17th. Does that make sense?
I think that would give them time.
Doesn't work?
I'm gonna be gone from the 15th until beginning of November.
Then if we do a site work on the 10th, that's 3 weeks from now. Because you said that's what you, so we'll make it, does that work for everybody on the board,
So
the
3
10th?
weeks from now means they should have
Yeah.
it done, sure, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be done, he just said it's gonna be about
Sure.
3 weeks.
As a
Call them up,
builder,
tell them you just committed.
yeah, they have an obligation to get things done. So if we will more than 3 weeks, that's not fair to the applicant. Does that work with the board if we do it on the 10th?
Sure.
Sunset's 7:30ish.
And when would the meeting be after? The next meeting after?
Yeah, the 17th.
17th, 1 week
Which
later.
we won't be available.
Um,
Can
So-
you change the meeting to, the next meeting to October 10th, have the site walk at 6, and then resume the meeting?
Yeah, we gotta-
at
That's
7
good,
here?
Brian.
yeah, we have enough time
I
to.
don't have anything else on the agenda.
We have enough time to make the notices and everything else to change the meeting. So
That's,
does that work for the board?
sure. Can you make
6
that?
o'clock on the 10th.
6 o'clock on the 10th. We'll have the site walk out.
And in a meeting here?
Is
Good.
that, I just got a question, does that mean also the right of way and stuff like that, that's gonna be looked at as well? Because that, one of the, I'm thinking maybe
We're-
part of the
That's
right of way
their-
could
That's-
be, that's the same thing.
That's you guys. We're looking at relocating the structure in the Shoreland Zone.
Relocating the structure, I'm thinking is on that right of way.
Right of way's on the other side of the property lines, as you can see.
And again, I had my surveyor look at that and he said, I don't know who drew this up. I don't know who drew the map, the proposed plan up.
Okay, in 3 weeks is the 10th. So if your surveyor does a different color flags and what's there, we'll be able to see what's in dispute. And then we can look at the site. So we have the site walk at 6, public hearing at 7. And then immediately following will be our planning board meeting. Does that work for everybody?
On the 10th?
On the 10th. So starting at 6 o'clock.
So meet at the site.
Yeah, we'll meet at the site.
6.
There'll be at least 6 cars.
That give us enough daylight, 6 o'clock.
Sure.
And you said your house is already, the new site's already marked out where you want the house to go?
Yes, the stakes are in location where the proposed structures to be. And I did want to comment on this gentleman's comment about measuring off the other 2 markers and having it two-dimensional. And he's right, you can't do that. It makes the property smaller, makes Penny's property smaller by doing that, because you're not getting the correct angle. So by doing that, Mr. Curtis actually reduced the size of his land when he measured that off to put in that temporary post so we could mark it. And he was told by a surveyor that it's already had a Class A survey, that putting a pin back in to mark that would be fine. And originally, if you read that plan, it says that he did put a pin in that location that had a marker on it. That did get removed at some point by someone.
Okay. 6:46 is sunset. We lose 2 minutes a day, so that's 21 days. I mean, we're like 40. We're gonna be close to sunset. I mean, we're gonna be twilight when we're there at 6.
Well, I can go. Some of us are old and retired, so I can go half hour.
I'll be lucky to make it for 6.
It is 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Nobody's
Yeah,
anything at that time.
As long as we can see.
Yeah. If we get there, it's just everybody gets there at 6, and we'll be able.
You do need to be there during daylight, because the C1 pin to the other pin,
Yep.
and it's pretty wooded up towards their house,
Okay.
Johnson's house.
So 10 October, we'll see you. We'll go over it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, thanks. So the crowd leaves? Oh. Wait, we got another one. The Dohertys are here. We got another one. So
Which one is the, okay, who's this one?
yeah.
I'm not sure. 7 and 6.
Okay, that's what it is.
I'm not sure who's, but I know it's the balls.
I'm gonna throw this the one.
All right, the Dohertys.
That's why I wanted to see it.
President.
Okay. You are also looking at a relocation. You're at map 35, lot 17, 20 Inspiration Point. The code enforcement officer has been out there. Sees no place to move the structure on the site. So he agrees, he supports the project as proposed on it. Same thing, we need to do a site visit. And go on that.
The trees are marked, did he mention if he saw the trees? And if we got over,
No, I didn't mention that at all.
somewhere to trim.
Okay. He didn't mention the trees at all, but that's his issue, not us. Sorry. All right. Same thing, you guys, site walk and everything else on it. If we do that on the 3rd, does that work with you?
You say it will be there.
Third.
On the 3rd of October?
Yeah.
Tim, go ahead, thanks. So, we have a
Is
We have a
that
drawing.
an okay time?
So basically, it's just a
That's good?
foundation.
Okay.
Could you just describe the project a little bit?
Okay.
We have,
Basically, we wanted to put a foundation, but
They call it daylight basement.
okay.
I can't, I snowmobile up here, I come up sometimes, it's 20 below, 20 degrees in the body.
Oh, it never gets that cold.
Well, I go to bed at 40 degrees, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
no joke.
So, I mean, what we have is it current on the drawings that we have?
the survey is the drawings we have are from 1994, which happen to be in a file that Tina found. And my principal said it was okay to use them. I have copies too.
Okay. So as we're looking at the site, you guys are obviously on point, but which way are you, I'm sorry.
It's the same one we had, just
Yeah, same with just,
Okay.
yep, smaller, bigger, sorry. Which way, I mean, you're just proposing coming up with it, there's no way, so we can't move it, and if we move it, I guess, north on the property, it's still same distance from the shoreline, so it doesn't, you can't go any further back.
And the shoreline is getting smaller and smaller.
Well, I pulled a permit a few years ago, went to the EPA in Augusta, and they allowed me to put some riprap up in front.
Okay.
I put some felt down first, and I put some riprap down, and that seems to stop the erosion. Every year we move the riprap back up, because the waves take it down.
All right.
Whereabouts in the lake is it?
We're off East Shore Road, which runs off Townhouse. Do you know the?
Oh,
east?
okay, okay.
I guess
Yeah,
this is-
okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Okay.
foundation.
Should this sketch plan
A lot of
have
water
setbacks?
sees it.
There's no
Kayak.
setbacks and property lines. I don't want to approve something if it's already not in compliance with setbacks.
Yeah, because we can have them put the setback, this, mark out the setbacks on it.
But if they're not moving, they're just going up, right?
Yeah, but if it's not conforming, if it doesn't meet the setbacks now,
Wouldn't it just be grandfathered?
Yeah, it's a non-conforming
But
lot,
it's
they
good
can,
to
they can go up and do it, keep the same footprint.
even if it doesn't meet the setbacks.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in place.
As long as they don't move.
Right.
All right, you guys have a dispute in yours too.
No, we don't. It's resolved.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Jump right in there.
From,
Note 6, yeah.
yeah, and they agreed.
You have a boundary line that you established between the two of you?
Right.
Okay. Which one is it? Or split them.
589 degrees, 39 feet 16 inches west. It would be the northerly iron pipe shall serve as the southerly abutters deed direction of due east.
Okay. So you lost property on it. All right. But that's resolved, so.
Yep.
How long have you been there?
26 years trying to decide if we're gonna do anything with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally decided that it works now.
Newcomers.
Never a native.
Okay.
All right, so
Sidewalk?
October 3rd, does that work for everybody? 6 o'clock?
Yep.
Sounds good.
That's fine with us. What
Okay.
time?
So-
You,
We could probably do 6 o'clock works good, and then we'll do public hearing at 7,
7.
and then immediately follow that with the planning board meeting. Does that work with everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
The board get a copy of that new bearing, because as we update our tax maps and you get a little bit more sophisticated in keeping records on the deeds, we should pass that on to our civil engineers,
Okay.
who does the tax map updates. So,
with a copy of
what,
this.
yeah, what you read.
I think this.
So this is the new one?
Oh, yeah, because ours just says it's disputed.
Yeah, so that
Oh,
way,
I know.
you bring the
Said they
folder
lost
up to date, as well as
as long as it's-
copy Jerry,
Okay.
because it's our.
It looks to me like they don't even have a meeting here.
You should see a reduction in your taxes. Look at it that way.
Man, you gotta talk to her, right?
We won't see a reduction,
Sure.
All right.
maybe we'll see an increase.
So,
Actually, he was signing over to us
Yeah, you gain property.
some land, not, so we're gonna wind up paying.
okay.
All right. That's it.
All right. So we'll see you on the 3rd. No, for
February
se-
6 o'clock,
Yep.
at the camp.
At the camp.
Yep.
And if you can mark out what you can find for your pins, they are there.
Yeah.
Pins are there in the corners,
Okay.
the surveyor did the.
If you could just flag them, you just put something on it so we can see them.
Flag on them all.
Okay.
Maybe
We'll
the
be coming
homemade
back
apple
here
pie
after
on
the
top of each
cycle.
one, or something like that.
We got a meeting
Yeah,
on
we
the
could-
same night there?
Yeah, so we'll just come right back here,
Have a public
and we'll have the public hearing, and then go right through, talking about your case.
So you're gonna have a meeting on the 3rd
And the 10th.
And the 10th, yes.
Yep.
And we won't have one then on the 17th.
17.
Okay?
Busy.
That's good, though. It's good to see. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we have no minutes. We have no reports from officers. Growth management ordinance pending still.
We got the revision here.
Yep. We have the latest. That's come back to us. Tom had it, got it all filed out and back, and filed out and back. So, we're gonna have to go to workshop afterwards on this. I didn't see this. Planning board workshop, October 10th, Maine Municipal. So,
Oh, it's the same. Yearly.
huh? Oh yeah, we set the other meeting for the 10th, so that won't work for us. So, is there anything else from the board? Anything from Tom? All right, at 7:38, I'll close the meeting. And we'll go right to a workshop.